Photography to some people can seem like it is the easiest thing in the world. Everyone now has a camera in their pockets, in their phones, and let's be honest, these cameras are getting better and better all of the time, and they are incredibly capable. They can shoot in low light, they can capture stunning landscapes, they can capture great portraits, and they can even blur out backgrounds now. And yes, it is digital blur or bokeh, and it is all computational and algorithm based, but it can sometimes look okay, even though it will never be the same as creating real depth of field using wider apertures and so on. So in a way now, everyone is a photographer, and that is amazing because it has made photography so much more accessible to everyone, and everyone is capable of taking some really nice images. However, I do think it has caused a little bit of controversy the further into this digital world we've got over the last 10-15 years. The truth is that now there is this common idea that all photography is just clicking a button. That all you need to do is pick up your camera or your phone, point it at something interesting, hit a button, and you've got a nice image. And I think that has become something that is more of a thing that you hear as technology has advanced, and in particular as phone cameras have improved over the years, and it has become more accessible and in a way easier. And in that sense, photography is easier because your phone does everything for you. It is completely algorithm based, it is doing all these different calculations to get the perfect exposure without you having to do anything. Whereas back when we only had film cameras, it was entirely different. But for anyone that has really tried to dive into photography, they know that it is way more than just that. Photography is about so much more than just pressing a shutter. You're constantly thinking about exposure, how bright or dark the image should be. Do you want to freeze the motion or do you want motion blur? You're thinking about composition, how to frame the shot, how to tell the story within the image, the emotions you're trying to get across in that image as well. How do I make this shot visually interesting? And then there is lighting, which is absolutely everything when it comes to photography, because photography translates to light painting. It is capturing light. So if you don't have nice light, you're not going to be able to capture a nice image, whether you're using natural light outside or whether you're using studio-based lighting, artificial light. But you're taking all of these different things into account at any one time, as well as considering all of your camera settings as well, and asking yourself, how do I capture all of this in a single frame? And these aren't things that you just develop overnight. It is a skill, and it takes a long time to develop and find your way with. You have to learn, experiment, and fail, and repeat that process over and over again, and not be afraid of failing. That is a key one. But then the deeper that you get into it, the more you realize there is to learn about photography. So what separates photographers from people who just take nice images? It's not just down to knowing how your camera works and knowing the best settings to use. Technical knowledge does help, yes, 100%, but it's not the most important thing. And that's because anyone is capable of pulling out a camera and taking a nice photo of family and friends. But does that make you a good photographer? What really makes the difference is persistence and consistency. Good photographers are the ones that head out with their cameras as often as they possibly can, looking to experiment and learn and improve. Thinking about all those little things that I mentioned before, things like how to improve their composition or find themselves in better locations to capture the best light at a specific time. Or if you work in a studio, maybe you want to experiment with different lighting techniques for portrait or product photography. And let's be real, most of the time, even when you are going out with your camera all of the time and you're trying to be consistent, you are still gonna come back with a lot of average photos. My hard drives are full of photos that I look back on now and I think, what the hell was I doing? That is part of the process of becoming a photographer, because every shot that you take, whether it's good or bad, teaches you something and you can learn something from it. What also makes a difference is having an interest in other people's work. Looking at photo books, following other photographers that you admire, and studying their work can be incredibly inspiring. It's not just about liking their photos, it's about asking yourself, why you like them. Is it the composition? Is it the lighting? Is it the emotion or the story that they're trying to tell within that image? And with all of that, engaging with other photographers' work can open your eyes to new ideas and techniques that you might not have even considered before, and it pushes you to think differently about your own work, which can only be a positive. The most successful photographers don't just live in a bubble where they're only interested in their own photography. They're always looking for inspiration in completely different areas to where they are and finding out how they can bring that into their own work so that they can constantly critique their own work and keep improving and stay curious about how they can keep improving their own craft. And it is that level of engagement and curiosity as to what really separates photographers from people who just take nice photos. Another key difference is patience, and a lot of people don't necessarily think about this, but a lot of photography is all about waiting for the right light, waiting for the right moment, waiting for everything to align perfectly to tell the story that you want to tell. If you do landscape photography, you might be waiting for the sun to appear from behind a cloud and capture the perfect golden hour sunset, or you might be at the beach waiting for a wave to hit a rock absolutely perfectly. If you do street photography, you might be waiting for someone to walk into the frame at just the right time, wearing exactly what you need them to wear to look right within the scene. This kind of waiting doesn't always come naturally, especially in today's world of instant gratification where we just want everything instantly, bang, bang, bang. But trust me, the reward is worth it. Those moments that you've waited and planned for and anticipated can result in images that stand way out from the rest. This photo that I took earlier in the year is a prime example of that for me. The woman is wearing a top that is exactly the same colour and pattern as the ice cream van. I absolutely love it. I also loved the fact as well that ice cream vans are meant to be enticing and almost a little bit fun, but both people in this image are just completely oblivious of each other in their own little worlds. The girl working inside the ice cream van is completely bored, just scrolling away on a phone. This photo just tells so many stories. I love it for that. It is one of my favourite photos I've taken this year. Patience isn't just about time either, it's about vision, being able to imagine what a photo could be like and then putting in the time to try and make it a reality. And this photo of the ice cream van is a perfect example of that. Yes, I might have got a bit lucky that the woman is wearing the exact same colour top as the ice cream van, but if I wasn't willing to put in the time and wait for something that would be interesting in that scene, I wouldn't have got that image. Photography isn't just about snapping something quickly and hoping for the best. There is so much that goes into creating incredible photos and separating photographers from people who just take nice photos. I think the main thing to remember though is that it is about thoughtfully crafting an image. You're not just reacting to what is in front of you, you're actively trying to bring it to life, and it takes a lot of practice. So is photography easy? I guess in one sense it is, because technology-wise it has never been easier to take nice photos. But the further you get into it, the more you realise just how much there is to learn. And honestly, that's one of the most exciting things about photography. It just goes on forever. I love it. That is it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And also my next video is going to be a Q&A video. So drop any questions that you might have about photography, YouTube, Lumix, gear, whatever it is you want to know. Drop your questions in the comments down below and I will answer them in my next YouTube video. And I shall see you in the next video.